What's up, everybody? Welcome to Quarter Life Podcast. I am Brene.
And I'm Kristen.
And we have a special guest on this podcast. He's right here beside me. Everybody, welcome our special guest of honor or dishonor, Jett Groove.
What's going on, everybody? Dishonor, really?
I mean, it could be honor, it could be a dishonor. I don't know.
Hey, Groove. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Oh, Kristen, it's good to be here. It feels kind of comfortable.
Well, Kristen, you don't have to appeal to him, make him comfortable.
I can't greet him.
She doesn't have to, but she is, and that's why she's beautiful. See, you need to learn. You got a lot to learn. That's what's going on.
Clearly.
Seeing here.
Oh.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna have a lighter podcast for you this week. No politics, no news, none of that like harsh bull crap. Yes, we know about Pence and the Fly. Yes, we know about Kamala Harris's facial expressions about "ooh, you lying motherfucker." We're not doing that, okay? We've heard it all.
We're tired
We've seen
of
it all. Yeah, we are tired. You guys are already, you've seen it all. Don't ask. All right, so let's get into it.
She says that, and then we go into it. And it's like,
and then like 20 minutes later, we're going to be talking about that freaking fly.
No, we're not. I promise you, we're not.
You know that fly follows Umar Johnson?
Nope. Be quiet. What did I just say? I'm cutting it off. That's me cutting.
All right.
So today, Groove is our special guest because we're talking about nostalgia. What? Crazy, right? Thank you, Kristen, for the air horn.
Keep forgetting y'all do that.
Yeah, we every now and again when it's a special occasion. But of course, if you're living through this quarter life crisis with us, then you have a lot of nostalgia. And today we will be talking about that. And Groove, since you are the special guest.
I hit something with my elbow for everybody out there wondering where that pause came from.
He's not used to doing podcasting, but it's okay. We are like 10 episodes in. We're professionals now.
I'm new to this. All I do is write books. Write books and teach. That's like and shipping.
All right. Cool. Shipping. So if you guys didn't know, now you know. But Groove, would you like to start us off with what you have come here to talk about today?
Well, I'll first introduce myself.
Oh, you can do that. We just did it, man.
And you didn't entirely, though, did you?
Okay, guys. Everybody, this is Jett Groove. He has a YouTube channel by the same name. He is a writer, he is a martial artist, and he is a philosopher. And if you didn't know, he also ships stuff. Is that a good enough intro? He's also my husband.
Okay. I'm like, when is she going to get to that?
Hashtag damn.
I forgot about that portion. Hashtag what about me?
Well, fine. It's supposed to do it that way. It's going on, guys. I'm Jett Groove. You might see me on YouTube and all that good stuff. What she said is all true. Except writer, I'm more of a poet, but it's still writing. So I don't consider myself like, a narrator or, it doesn't matter. I'm about to go off topic. So she brought me on the show today to talk about something that I've been researching on. Researching, thinking, philosophizing with, whatever, which I do on a number of things. It doesn't matter. This is about a generational shift. The current zeitgeist is showing us that there is a bizarre trend in nostalgia. And we've been seeing this all around the not just the internet, I mean, most internet, but even in regularly read articles as far as like hard copy, print. And it's also been going around the talks. A lot of our movies and music are also reaching the same conclusion. Well, music is loosely related, but anyway, still, it's hitting a certain, like a point, but all the recreations, the nostalgia in of itself is hitting from a specific time period or for a specific set of people. I was looking up the different generations and it hit me that there's a weird subset within the millennials that this is kind of going for. So of course we have the the boomers, which we usually don't like because they're stuck in the ways and they're very spoiled.
Boo, boomers! Get off the set. Get off the pod. Don't get off the podcast. You can listen.
Move out the way.
I mean, listen without speaking. that's what shut the hell up actually means. Like, shut the hell up means the hell you're speaking. Shut it up. Now listen to the heaven. We're trying to explain something to you. So just learn before y'all end up, passing on. And then, anyway, so there's the boomers, and then there's, I know it's really morbid, and then there's the Generation Jones, or the Jones generation, which is, I think, from like the 64 or 62 or something like that, to 1970, like 7, something like that. Basically, of the era, a lot of our
not parents, 1977, 1970, I think.
Something like that.
Because after that comes Generation X.
Yeah, like, so the boomers grew up at a time like after the war, or that's when they were really conceived. The Generation Jones were the people that grew up, like, they always had a TV in their household. If you have a parent that was a child, even though it was a black and white, 12-inch or whatever, makes no difference. They still had television in the home. Like, a television in the home was the standard. That means they're part of that Jones generation. They didn't grow up during the struggles after World War II and or whatever. They grew up during the time where the civil rights actions were starting to really take hold. So that's their experience. A lot of our parents had that experience. I say a lot, but that's probably not necessarily true.
Well, because after that, you have what Generation X, which shout out to my mom, Generation X, 1971. Also,
big up to Generation X.
Yeah,
because she was raised with them. That's why.
I was raised. Well, you're always raised with your parents, but my mom, her birthday is also this past at the time of posting this episode. It was October 11th, Sunday. So we'll happy birthday to Delisa and shout out birthday. Okay, I just had to get that out there. Mother, I love you. P.O.P. Hold it down.
I said, have a good drink, and I'll drink 2 more for you, something to get us drunk. You're welcome.
Cool. All right. So after Generation X.
Start with the clink clink sound. After Generation X, the Pepsi generation, was basically based upon the advent of music videos and pop music for real. She started dancing. Anyway, after that advent, then you have Generation Y, or the next gen. But within a generation, there are a lot of subsets. And there are subsets in a lot of generations anyway. Generation Y, the Millennials, which is what we are those who are...
Shout out to Millennials.
We're basically the children of the Jones generation. Like, Gen X are typically children of the boomers in general. So the ones that are in their basically 40s now, 40s to, I guess, 50s, are the children of the boomers who are living in their 60s and 70s for the most part. And I know age range kind of gets weird, but we're talking about generation, it gets kind of foggy. But us, the millennials, are typically children of the Jones generation. I mean, some of us may be children of boomers. It's not impossible, but still. We grew up in a time where, of course, TV was prevalent, so was color television especially. But we also, by the time we were coming into our teenage years or into our, what's it called? Your
prerogative.
No.
Kristen, help us out.
No. Say
I have no idea the word that he's looking for.
After your
formative years.
After your formative years, though, it's your age of reason. There we go. I can think of it.
Oh shit! Sorry, I would not have.
Yeah, I never would have gotten that.
You guys failed the trivia night. Shame on both.
You almost failed it.
I got it before the buzzer. So, but no, sorry. So, during our formative years, especially, but some was in the age of reason, which is the really important thing. We had internet, we had video games, we had fashion knowledge, we had cell phones, we had beepers. All that was there. We didn't have the information we have it now, like the iGen does, or the Gen Z. But we had that becoming. But we were raised by people who knew nothing about it. So we have this really weird subset of analog lessons and digital experience.
But still, some of our experiences were still before internet. Like, I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah.
But there were times where, you have to go do a book report, and I would have to go to the library,
Get a book
and read it.
Shout out to the Dewey Decimal System. # Dewey Decimal. What y'all know
you actually had to read it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And actually like take notes because like you couldn't mark the book up because you had to return it. So you had to like write passages from the book and then take it to the computer and then save it to a floppy disk.
Yeah. So, and then if you were really fancy, you would be able to like print. Ooh.
Oh my God. Printing?
We complain. Well, there was a generation of people that had to use typewriters for everything. And typewriters are terrible. But you know what, though? I will say this. Shout out to anyone who remembers having to take that library class in school. We haven't had to use a card catalog.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to learn back then, to learn how to find out how they put shit in order.
How to find out how to use a Rolodex.
Yeah,
I don't think any of that stuck with me. And I'm like, look, girl, the book is right there. I'm just going to go get it. I don't want to check this card catalog.
Like,
I don't have time for that.
I remember taking a course, like I remember taking that, how to learn to check out shit in the library. And I remember when computers were first being introduced into the classrooms, like for real. And I had to take a computer class.
A computer class, yeah.
Yo, remember the Dells, those candy colored Dells that every school had? Them whack ass computers that only could do like 4 or 5.
Well, my school probably didn't have that much money, so I don't think we had.
We had a computer. I remember having a computer lab. There was a computer lab with the Dells in it with a different colored, like candy colored, like from the commercials. The whole you're getting a Dell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when I had the typing class we had to do when I was a senior. That was 2004, I think. We had the regular PCs. We had to practice little typing games on. And I remember back then it was so complicated for me, like, because I was used to using my fingers, like playing chopsticks. And typing, it was really kind of like not good. I might pass the class like a B, I think, because it's not hard to pass typing.
Also, they had those computers, the Apple computers later on that were all colorful and stuff, and the back was kind of see-through, and you thought it was like so hip and cool, and those computers sucked.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, y'all definitely went to schools with funding because.
See, like I was a military kid, so I was like in military.
Oh, okay.
But Kristen, I grew up in Whitehaven, though. I went to Whitehaven.
Yeah.
I
went to school in Fraser.
Oh.
So
Kristen grew up where they had dirt instead of yards. So
whoa, Kristen,
that was so mean.
That was mean. But
people of Fraser, I am not meaning that to be cruel. I'm just speaking from observation. I've been in Fraser a lot of times, too many times.
Freaking loved Fraser. I loved it. I loved going outside. And for your information, my yard, front and back, had grass. Ooh. So.
Oh, bougie. Excuse the hell out of me.
Excuse me. Her area could afford grass, okay?
And it still has grass today.
She was in that part of Fraser near Stage. She ain't slick. She was at that line where James meets Stage. I was
no.
She was not that far from Golden Gate Baptist. Yeah, I know where you was at.
All right, this is the portion of the podcast where we're getting into Memphis logistics.
Yeah,
so, right.
She was walking distance of that Aaron's cross street from that Burlington Coal Factory. She ain't slick. I know.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yes, I called you out, Kristen. You was on that
I literally lived down the street from Fraser High School.
I was gonna say though, is like you just putting her whole like area on blast.
I mean, it's fine. I don't live there now. So
let me get it straight, because I was born in Millington, and for the first few months of my birth, my parents did live in Fraser back when it was still a good city. But like, and that sounds mean, but I'm gonna be real. Fraser, get it together, Memphian, stop doing what you're doing. Like, get better. I'm not.
You know, my goal in life is to like, become really, really rich and then like build Fraser up because it needs it. So
Fraser and
honestly. I would like to build back up East Memphis, because when I moved out here, it was supposed to be nicer, and then it just progressively got worse.
How about we just buy the city?
Yeah, let's just buy the city, guys.
Good luck with that. You need two things that have happened for East Memphis to go bad: Katrina and Hurricane Elvis. And after that, it was no
freaking Hurricane Elvis. Yeah,
you remember that nonsense?
And
we called it a hurricane. It's hilarious.
That was the hurricane that shut the mall down.
The mall down. Yeah.
The mall got attacked by trees.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, I'm done, fam.
And everybody was like, oh, cool.
It never recovered. How sad.
I was in high school and I was like, that mall is never get back together, is it? And I was living in, what was I, Bartlett at the time?
And here's the problem with that. I think all the white people were trying to leave anyway. They just had an excuse to leave.
And where they go? Germantown and Colleyville. They live all together. Because then we have folks from after Katrina. And later on, they came up.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to New Orleans folks who, I love you guys, but all y'all criminals are up here. So this is
it's fine. They just joined the criminals that were already here. So it doesn't
let's be real. All right. My kinfolk from New Orleans and Baton Rouge, but New Orleans, though my kinfolks, they came here, but they didn't just stay here. They also went to Texas and Chicago. Yep. So I better leave them alone. They in Austin and Chi. So
I freaking love New Orleans. So if anybody wants to give me a second home there, I'm cool with it. I love New Orleans. I love everything about it.
I'm gonna tell you about New Orleans.
It stank.
First of all, Chris,
I don't care.
Before I get back to my topic, Kristen.
Right, because we're so off topic.
Yeah,
no, it's okay. I'm gonna go back to it.
Wait, it's not just your topic; it's our topic. We're talking. This is a podcast. This is a threesome conversation.
Threesome conversation.
Why did you say that?
Created a whole new thing that somebody's gonna take and run with and be like, we do threesomes, but only in conversation. So
in conversation.
So we do threesome texting. We do threxting. It's why I'm like, we do quadrexting. We do kinksting.
Yeah, you're just group chatting at this point.
Similar to your LAT episode y'all had.
I'm sorry, everybody, because you know what he says is probably true. It's going to be a thing later on, and I apologize in advance. But
it happens, man.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna get to that too. While that's actually a thing.
So nostalgia. Back to our generation, which we flew off the freaking handles.
Not really, because we kind of, not really. We talked about Frasier and stuff, which is nostalgic for me. So
talking about that
and where we grew up, and then the mall. So we're on track. Okay, let's go.
Oh, don't try to out talk that train.
I know, right? I heard it too. Ooh, ooh. Somebody.
Yeah, I live near a railroad. So okay, fine, cool.
There you go. Don't expose yourself. Don't want nobody to try to look for you. They be like, she look real.
There's a lot of railroads in Memphis, so they don't know which one.
It'd be real.
I'm not worried about it.
Somebody right now is watching is like, man, that Kristen girl fine as hell. What she say?
Oh my God. Do I need to get a security card?
Yes, you do.
I'm going to tell you the truth. If you have admirers, you're doing good. If you have haters, you're doing good. The point is people are listening to you.
Kristen, if you want, then you can borrow Tango.
Tango is not security. Tango let them in as long as they pet her. Even then, they put bags of the attention.
Okay, well, she'll be out of our hair.
Tango is the most docile, needy thing ever. She is literally like a
she did kind of become my friend really quickly, and she had no idea who I was. So,
guys, Tango is and I know we talk about her a lot on the podcast, but it's just because she kind of envelops our life.
Can she be our guest next week?
Yeah, sure.
Do what? Listen?
To meow. We'll ask her some questions.
Only meow if you have snacks in front of her, maybe.
I'll bring snacks.
Or if you cuss her out.
I'll cuss her out.
Don't do that. You're going to upset a lot of people because of that.
I don't care. Guys, here's the thing. Don't tell me how to raise my kids. Don't tell me how to raise my cats. All right. I got this. I don't come over to wherever you at in San Francisco or Seattle, wherever, white suburban area that you're in, teaching you how to raise your bad kid when he threw macaroni on the ground because he couldn't have his raviolis. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, that hit subject target there. I was going to say, shout out to my kinfolks in New Orleans and Baton Rouge and all that good stuff. Not saying that it's all terrible, but y'all know better. You know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm gonna say. Oh, sign out to say Gabriel and Israel Parish. That's my family really.
This is like the shout out podcast, right?
Hey, you gotta shout out to people. You gotta let them know, like, hey, I'm talking shit about y'all because I know y'all. I mean, I love y'all, but I know y'all. Like, and y'all know better. So don't act like, don't talk about us.
And also, Kristen will love to be a part of y'all community. So
I mean, like
I'm down.
New Orleans is nice. It just stank.
I mean, so does New York, but I love it there too. So
and it's dangerous as hell.
It's New Orleans. Look, for real, now it's dangerous, motherfucker. It's dangerous. But I mean, if you got kin folks there and you got a safe net of people, you should be all right.
Cool.
Anyway, sorry.
Back
on the topic at hand. So
we're trying not to let this podcast be like an hour and 30, like I think it was almost last time.
Hey, for real though, there's nothing wrong with an hour and a half change of podcast. Well, because if you're talking about stuff that is funny and or relevant, the length doesn't matter.
Oh my God. All right, guys, do not tell me how to run my podcast. Yes, I am like a black woman. You can't see me, but I'm doing the Kamala face, that whole, are you serious?
And she's rolling her neck. And like,
as she just said, she was trying to involve no politics in a podcast.
Well, we knew it was going to happen.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. I said that in the beginning of it. I knew it already.
So nostalgia. Who loves Rugrats?
Okay, so with that being said, by the way, a lot of the nostalgia is being pointed at this a specific decade of time. So with the millennials, I feel like there's a couple of segments. So there's the boomerang generation of millennials, which I think encompasses a good few of us. If you don't know what that is, boomer generation of those who left home, went to college, got a place, and had to go back to their parents' house. A lot of us had that. It actually overlaps a little bit from the beginning to about 1988, 89, maybe 90. And then after a good minute for the millennials, there's a point where the millennial spot mixes with the iGen point, which is like the later 90s, early 2000s.
That's like 94, 95 to like 99. Basically when SpongeBob came out, which was 99.
Yeah, if SpongeBob was part of your childhood, if you're a later millennial or you're a Gen Zer. You're definitely not a Gen Alpha. The Gen Alphas are babies and children right now. Those are the kids we see running around going to school, the snot-nosed ones. So
shout out to Gen Alpha Woodwood. You're not listening to this podcast, but
if it's good in the future, you now know you got a shout out.
Yeah.
Now change the drawers.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm just assuming they might have heavier drinking and drugs than we do.
Whoa. Anyway, my little brother's a Gen Alpha.
So.
Oh my God, Caleb! I am so sorry.
Made me spill my yak. Anyway, I'm just being stupid.
Yeah.
But with that reference in mind, so I realized that there's a subset. Millennials have a good few subsets in them, but there's a big subset within the millennial structure. And that is between the years of 1984 and 1994. There's a big decade where the nostalgia really hit hard. These people between those 2 year sets, 1984 to 1994, have not just everybody lives with nostalgia and ennui. This is not a thing that we don't experience, existential dread and all that nonsense, whatever. But we legit base our life on that nostalgia, like in a weird way that other generations don't seem to have done. Like everybody thinks back in the past and it's like, man, remember back in the day. But see, as soon as I said that, what do you think about? Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid. Because you're part of that time.
But here's the thing with that. And Kristen, like if you understand this, back me up. The reason why we're so into the nostalgia is because we didn't have time to actually live our childhood before technology took over. We were the generation where, yes, we rode our bikes outside, and yes, we did rollerblading and skating and read books.
We actually played outside.
Yeah, we actually played outside before we could really stop cracking your knuckles, man. That's unprofessional. But then technology came, and before we were able to slowly process it, it took off, and it quickly enveloped a lot of our lives. So we didn't really have that time to just enjoy shit while it was there. And then by that time, technology moved so fast and it was so abrupt. Now we're even getting mixed in with the iGen, who they keep confusing us with because we still grew up with technology, but we our lives weren't completely encompassed with it, because now they don't know shit about a library. A library to them is where you go to drug deals. Like
what?
Well, I don't know. Like, but they didn't. But like from day one, like everything, they've always had cell phones. They've always had high speed internet.
Social media. Yeah.
They, you know what I mean?
I remember social media remember when Facebook was only for college students? I do. I was in college my first semester when Facebook started being a thing. I was right there at the
See, I don't remember a time when Facebook was only for college students, but I do remember that it was the first. Well, when I got to college, that was the first time I ever heard of Facebook. Yeah. So I only knew that from the movie, that it was at the beginning only for college students. So I think that by the time I got on it, everyone could get on it. Everyone had access to it. Yeah. You know, MySpace was my jam.
Yeah, we were still coming off of MySpace.
Yeah, we were still coming off of MySpace, because if you didn't have me in your top 8 and I needed to be number 1 on your page, then I was going to be pissed.
And I remember looking at I remember going to Facebook and thinking, like, this is never going to take off. You can't edit it down. Like, there's no coding involved. Like, everybody.
There's no music.
There's no cool people.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Okay. And I'm glad I didn't invest in MySpace.
Y'all got me feeling old on that one. So when I went to college in 2005, and that's when Facebook was a thing, and no one was really using it. Facebook was like a thing you used to talk to your college friends and share notes. That's really what it was for. Because MySpace was legit. Zanga had gone out of style.
Foursquare was out of style.
Yeah, some people still use Foursquare though.
Right now?
Yeah, still.
What?
Not in the States, just outside of the country.
To do what with?
Yeah,
that's a good question. I don't know, but it's still there. It still exists. I don't think Zanga exists anymore though. I had a Zanga profile for my senior year. That's only because it was this girl I liked at a Model UN thing I went to. She was really cute to me.
What about blackcouplesmeet.com?
Oh.
You get on Black Planet.
Yeah, Black Planet, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh man, you took it back on that one, which is weird to say that when there are people who are still alive in this country that didn't have anything digital to talk to other on besides the home line, the landline, sorry. Oh, I sounded really young and really old altogether. I'm there calling people, just hey, Sheila. That's not a name here anymore. But anyway, sorry. As from your point, though, brings up a bigger subject of that big point of subject matter. So we did grow up in a time where we had analog fun. Like, we grew up in a time where wherever all the bikes were, that's what,
yeah.
For example.
Exactly.
At a time where the street lights came on, you go in the house. At a time where you couldn't be outside all day, or you couldn't be in the house all day either. You had to
choose. Like, you're not finna keep running in and out.
Exactly. You're not letting out all my cold air.
Whereas nowadays, all the kids stay inside and sit on the computer. They talk digitally now. People only meet in person when they must, like work or school. That might actually change in the future. We might end up in the future all work from home one day. You never know.
And I just looked it up, guys. Zanga is still a thing.
Is it really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do mobile games now.
That's hilarious. Used to be a live journal, basically.
Now,
what the hell?
Yeah. So,
as a side note, I used to be a slick pimp on MySpace.
Oh, here you go.
I used to HTML my junk all the way to hell up. I was so good at HTML and coding for like a quick minute, and I talked to a good few women on MySpace. I ain't gonna shout out nobody. I remember a few, but not all.
Deborah.
Who the hell is Deborah?
I don't know.
Why did you say that?
You made up a person.
Deborah.
It was this girl in New York actually that wanted me to come to Rochester, New York, to come hang out with her and stuff. And
hang out.
Hang out, air quotes. She knew what she meant. I knew what she meant. But I'm like, girl, I'm in Memphis going to U of M. There is no way in the world I'm going to New York for a period of time to go get some potential and then come back and be like, man, that was a cool ass week.
Guys, this was back before OnlyFans.
Way before OnlyFans.
Way before OnlyFans. Like,
what are you gonna say, Kristen?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. Just that was way before OnlyFans. Yeah. MySpace definitely opened up some things to be able to, I don't know. I didn't do a ton of flirting on there, but I definitely made sure that if I did talk to you, again, I better be in that top 8 and I need to be in that first row. So
you could be better because that wrong. They had a top 8 and you could do a top 10, a top 15, for real.
But I didn't need that many people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. OnlyFans was OnlyFans. Wrong. So I don't even do OnlyFans, but no, like, and not ashamed to those who have an OnlyFans. I'm just not paying for your nudes. I'm not doing that.
Or your feet.
Or especially, like, if I'm going to pay for it, at least be in front of me in person. I'm going to pay you over.
Keep going. The good thing about.
Sorry. The good thing about the good thing about MySpace is that I think the funnest part wasn't their background screen, wasn't the screen that you saw in their About Me or their little extra little words on the side where they did a little poetry or their daily blog nonsense. If y'all can remember that. The best part was to click on their page, the music that would start up. Yeah. That's when you knew who you were talking to. Mm-hmm. Hey, you hear some FCCP remix or, or like Mos Def. Umi Says or Brown Skin.
I was gonna say I heard a lot of like India Ari.
Where to God?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that. Stevie Wonderful.
There was this one dude who had like Babyface as his like background. I was like,
my background was I can't remember now. It was like it was a picture of me there in a silhouette in my profile picture with the muscles showing that were small, whatever. And then my background was like, at first it was anime based, but then it was just me. But like in my little About Me section, it was Vida Guerra. Vida Guerra, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, some of you might, but you know what I'm talking about. When Frankie J did that song, Es Amor, that weird white Latino dude.
Sure.
It's just an illusion.
Sure.
Whatever. The girl he had in the video, that Latina chick. If you don't know, look her up. She's still pretty attractive, even though she's like in her 40s now, I think.
Kristen, what was your?
I'm trying to remember, like, who was I in love with back then? I don't know. It's probably like some B2K shit. Who knows?
I can see that for you, honestly.
I'm sure that I had several like B2K songs or whatever. And I'm seriously trying to remember what my backgrounds were because you just had so many options. Yeah. So it would be like I was going to say every few days you would change it, but really it's probably like every few hours you were changing that background. And then that song had to match, like all of that. Like, I don't know. It just, who knows what I had, but MySpace was a good time.
I wonder if they're still like floating around somewhere. I wonder if like.
Oh, I wish, because I would love that.
Yeah. I would. I don't. The profiles. I don't know because now MySpace is all music based.
I know that.
Yeah, it is.
When I learned about that, when I remembered my old MySpace password, I actually did go back. It was like about 5 or 6 years ago. I went back to my MySpace, I guessed my password, which is weird to even do. Got back into it and looked through my old email, like my old MySpace messages and stuff, and I learned something very important that I already knew.
Things don't delete on the internet?
Nope, I'm a hoe.
Oh, okay.
I did a lot of flirting on MySpace.
I was a very, and I know you guys probably can't see it now, but just imagine like a younger, more angsty, pissed off Renee. Like imagine Daria, but like black, and that was me.
You were a cross between Daria and Sam from Danny Phantom.
Yeah, actually, I was a very dark kid. Shout out to Sam and Daria. Pew, 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 pew. You're fictional characters, but we still love you. And so my background, I remember being Black Dove, and then I changed it to Raven Angel. And then I had like, don't laugh, so much angst. Don't laugh at me though. But like, I would constantly play like either Evanescence or like Flyleaf.
Oh my!
I was that kid. And you know what?
Breaking the habit.
And you know what? I'm not embarrassed. Okay,
you shouldn't be, because I probably had like a Soulja Boy song or some weird shit. So.
Soulja Boy, tell it.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I heard that Evanescence song. We were at where were we? We were at the Cordova Farmers Market, and it came on.
Which one?
The Cordova Farmers Market.
Which song?
Oh, which song? Wake me up inside. Yeah. So yeah, that song came on in the farmers market, and yes, I danced, and no, I had no shame.
You know what though? We're at the age now where shame, dancing in public should not be in the same sentence. Oh. We're a little too old for that. Listen to this. Like, what are you doing when you dance in public? Isn't that embarrassing? I pay bills. Shut the hell up and leave me alone.
Exactly. Like, I mean, please.
Like, right, I can do whatever I want. You're not paying for shit. Right.
I have life insurance. Like, just shut up. Like, don't even.
I got insurance in case I die prematurely.
Like, accidental. Like, if I lose an arm, I have insurance for that. Like, please relax. Okay. You can't tell me anything.
I have a 401k. Okay. You leave me alone.
Let's be for real. This might be the last time I dance. Period.
Oh well, that's also dark.
No, like you.
And I'm probably gonna pay for it because my knee is probably gonna hurt later on from doing all these wild dances.
But you know what? I had fun. Okay. But I realized that a lot of people actually listen to, and there was like this weird kind of stigma. If you listen to like grungy music or like rock music or even was like a nerd back in the day, everybody had some kind of nerdism. And I know because there are people now, if you put a Linkin Park song on Facebook or whatever, people know it. Like,
what is
so
the
you
song
can't
with it's not, I don't think it's Linkin Park. It may be though. And they did a mashup with Jay-Z.
That's Linkin Park. Yeah.
That's Linkin Park. Okay. So, cause you just reminded me of a moment where my school obviously was an all black high school, and my friends played basketball. They were on a basketball team, and we traveled to this all white high school somewhere in the country, and the white kids played that song. And when I tell you, all of us like lost our shit because it was the coolest thing that we had ever heard. But those kids were shitty because we asked them to play it again and tell us the name of that song, and they wouldn't. And that was before iPhone, so you couldn't like Google it. You couldn't Shazam it and get like the name of the song. But it was just such a mashup. And you're right, like where I grew up at, it was mostly like rap and Yo Gotti and stuff like that. But then when you hear stuff like with Linkin Park and all of that, then that's when you get into that. And no one really acknowledged that they were into that kind of music where I grew up at. I didn't get into that kind of music until I went away to college.
See, I remember how
because you opened up a little bit more. It was
the song now.
I still have it on my phone. I just can't think of the name of it.
Like, I actually have that CD. And there was a point where my mom was like, is this a Reanimation? It was Collision Course. Collision Course was Reanimation was basically remixing songs from Hybrid Theory. And it was also really dope, Linkin Park album. And then Collision Course is the one with Jay-Z. And then...
No, they have another one too. It's Numb/Encore. That's the one we heard.
Yeah. No, Collision Course is the name of the album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Yeah. It's so good.
But I'm also wrong because it was them Franchise Boys. And who was it? That wasn't Korn, was it? Who was it? Them Franchise Boys did a mix with
No, Korn did mix somebody else. No, you thinking of
Guys, we have the power of the internet.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to like
franchise.
Them Franchise Boys.
I'm just trying to. Who do they have a remix with? If you guys know, like while we're just
I'm like
here trying to.
Yeah, like we're trying to Google it.
While we're doing that, I'm going to go further through what I was talking about. All right. So, Trini is 84 and 94. This is the nostalgia gen, as I'm saying it. That's the word. The nostalgia generation that remembers so much and wishes they had more. And the reason why I've thought about this, I've been thinking about this for years. I say years, I guess it's been a long time, like maybe like half a decade. All the new nostalgia stuff they bring out is for people that are born between those years. Honestly.
It was Korn.
Oh, it was Korn? Was it really them?
It was Korn.
Yeah, it's coming undone with it.
Korn actually kind of rapped on it. I remember that. Yeah.
She was sick.
But no, it's funny. I'm going to come back to that, as a matter of fact, because the news reference we're making is a big point. It's a big point of part of this.
Oh, I know where you're going with that, and kind of pisses me off, but go ahead.
You might. Well, you might.
Oh, the rapping with and the how rap and rock came to be.
That started with like oh my God, my brain just left me.
Limp Bizkit.
No.
Oh.
Rapping and rock music?
No, I'm thinking of
yeah. That was the first time it happened.
No, I'm thinking of
DMX and
No, shut up. I'm sorry, don't shut up, but be quiet so I can think.
So shut up, go up. You know what I mean? Y'all remember that?
I'm thinking
Wait, can we clear all of this shit? Like, we've been singing a lot of these songs. Like, are these under 15 seconds?
It's about, they are.
It is under 15.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, but
trust me, when y'all sing, I count in my head. If you went over, I would have stopped you, I promise.
It was when Lil Wayne did that terrible rock album, and that was the moment that I thought, all right, we need to stop this.
Y'all remember that Part Like a Rock Star song? Jesus Christ.
Body like a rock.
Stop, Chrissy.
I think we walked out to that during my senior year.
No.
I told y'all I went to school in the hood, man. We were all about that. And tat it up. Likely be tatted up.
I hate that part of 2000. Oh my God, I hate it.
We was the We Out the Gate song. I think that's what
We Out the Gate.
Yeah.
I told you I know all of that stuff.
This is graduation stuff you're talking about?
This is graduation. Not like they played it on stage, but they played it afterwards.
No, I don't know. It's funny. I don't remember what we played in graduation after we graduated. I was ready to leave. I damn near ran out. Don't choke on you. Don't spill your beverages.
No. Okay, so Groove just made me do a spit take, and I fell on the floor, and now I have cat hair on my wet hands.
That's what you get for falling out.
Why did you go that far with it?
Who knows?
Don't question. You ain't got to question it since we're talking about music shit.
That song is so Jim.
All right, guys.
I'm so tired of Justin.
So
anyway, as I was, not even a way that's negative, I'm just tired of being such a topic. As I was saying, but no, between these 84 and 94 is the nostalgia gen. We literally live our nostalgia. Like, nostalgia for us is how we define ourselves. And this is as they say now, a toxic thing, but at the same time, it is a self-identifier. So, like what she was saying earlier, what Jan was saying earlier about the music, and and we haven't gotten the idea of TV shows and media just yet. Well, or even food.
We're not gonna have time. There's gonna have to be a part 2 because
if that's the case. But still, but the music, for example, let's think of it this way: when we were in high school, there was music we were expected to like and music we liked behind closed doors. Those who like music we expect like behind closed. Sorry, the music we like behind closed doors that were spoken out loud. Those people were considered edgelords. They weren't scene kids yet. They were the goth kids. I
was the goth kid because I didn't care.
Exactly. Scene kids didn't exist yet. That wasn't until like 2007 we had scene kids, and 2004 when we had emo kids. Those weren't a thing when I was,
emo kids were like the sadder goths. Like they cried all the time and they whined.
When I was in high school, when I went to my senior year in 04 to 05 is when I heard of emo. It wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you're emo, you're listening to this podcast, I'm so sorry, but stop crying.
Crying can be therapeutic. What's wrong with you?
I mean, it can be, but like you don't have to cry over everything, and if the world isn't sad all the time. I mean, I know we're in 2020, so you know what? Let me retract that statement.
Yeah.
Never mind. This is the perfect time for emo people.
So keep crying. You are ahead of the game.
But no, sorry. Get back to the topic. Yeah. So when it comes to nostalgia gen, like for example, music, a lot of us like stuff in secret and like in person. For example, Nickelback. Nickelback is fun to hate, but there are some Nickelback songs that people enjoy and they don't want to tell anybody. Photograph. See,
every time I do, it makes me.
Everyone knows that one from the meme.
I can't lie. The Animal song was pretty all right. And I don't know if you guys ever heard that song, but it's just basically about fucking like animals.
Yeah.
And that's really
No, I don't know what that is. And I don't
I only
Discovery Channel.
No, that's not that song.
Is it not?
No, you're thinking of
No, I know what I'm thinking of. Never mind.
You're thinking of.
I was a very pro-black, Pan-African kid. Don't bother me. And I know it was white folks that rapped it, but I know the song I'm talking about. Yeah, I was much more into hip hop in my youth. You're thinking
of the what are they called? The something gang, the Wolf Gang. Something Kristen, help me out.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hold on. Because they do a lot of like sex songs, because they do the "You and Me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do."
Oh yeah, yeah, I know that song.
Yeah,
so I just saw Nickelback.
He did a ballad to a porn star. Like, keep talking. I'm gonna find him.
All right, cool. So anyway, even though I missed the Nickelback reference, I mean, to be real, I didn't listen to Nickelback for real.
The Bloodhound Gang. I didn't even have to look it up.
The Bloodhound Gang. There we go. Yeah, sorry. I didn't listen to too much Nickelback in high school. I was more into hip hop and R&B. I was kind of raised on BET music.
Well, see, my best friend at the time, she loved Nickelback. Like she had all of their CDs.
And I know which friend you're talking about.
Yeah,
and she had all of their CDs.
She's a boring person.
We can shout her out. She ain't gonna listen to this podcast. Hey, what's going on, girl? You boring. But
damn. I'm kind of mad that her name is my middle name and she's boring. So okay.
Well, but your first name is Kristen, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. If it makes you feel better, her middle name is close to my middle name. So like hers is and mine's so
stop getting all your information out. Don't say her last name. Do not say her last name.
I ain't gonna say her last name.
Because people will look her up for real. Don't do it.
All right. Don't. I ain't saying nothing, but she was one of those people that she was more angsty than I was. Well, I was like angry angsty. She was like, oh, sparkly vampires, some rich.
Whoa. Because we've already talked about my love for Twilight. So
yeah, I forgot about that. Hey, Kristen, I hate that series. By the way,
you know what? If you were a true fan of Twilight, the books and the movies, you don't give a damn about people hating it. We knew people hated it. That never stopped anything. Like Twilight. When they had those midnight premieres, baby, you better believe I was there. Okay, like I need to see all of that. No. Are you kidding me? When we finish this, I'm getting on Hulu to watch every single last one of those today. It's raining outside. It's dreary. I'm into it. Let's get into those feelings. I want to be sad. I want to fight between Edward and Jacob. I want all of it.
You are going to waste your weekend by watching.
It sounds like the perfect weekend to me. I'm going to fix a glass of wine and I'm finna just like, yes. Edward, please snatch that motor out of that truck so I can't leave B. Yeah.
Kristen, I know you don't know this, but people who watch the Twilight series go to hell.
I will see my people there.
So we now know
I will see my people there.
Y'all be in hell together, jam for like,
Why would I be in hell?
For ripping the tabs on pillowcases and then Kristen's watching Twilight. And that's the end line. That's the game plan. I see. I'm going to heaven for knowing better. I told y'all what you're doing, and guys will be like, you right. You right.
You the main.
Okay, so it's a party. Yeah, cool. Whatever.
Yeah, part with y'all. I'm going to be heaven like, man, they messed up. Y'all fucked up real bad. Man, I need another Mai Tai.
I love how they have Mai Tais in it.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, I don't care how bad people think Twilight is. That was my shit. Okay, so I'm into it, and I stand firm in that.
Cool. You can enjoy your 12-year-old romance stories.
It's okay. We all have stuff that we know is bad that we all like. So, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not defending it. It is not, this great piece of literature that's going to stand the test of time. So
it won't. It hasn't stand the test of present.
Groove, you like Insatiable, so chill out.
Insatiable.
Yeah. That teen movie about, no, it's not a movie, it's a series about the chicks trying to be like pageant queens or some shit with the gay guy.
Wait, what?
Is that not what that is?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Okay, so there is this show that it's probably not called Insatiable. It's called something.
No, I remember now. No, Insatiable. It's a show on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
it is.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I didn't get past season 1, but
okay,
I didn't. I really didn't. It got too cringy, but it was funny as hell for the time being.
It's a show about this gay guy. Actually, there are 2 gay guys in it.
I'll synopsis it.
Okay.
It's a story about this dude who's married to this woman who's clearly gay. You recognize it early. He comes out later on, kind of, I don't know. I didn't get too far into it. But he's like a pageant director, and this girl used to be fat as hell, got knocked out or something by some homeless dude, and she was in a coma for a while. I think that's how it went. I might got that wrong, honestly. And then she woke up, and she had also this damn weight. She'd been in a coma all that time and got attractive, but never getting the weight back despite her low metabolism. So, like, her and her gay friend, who doesn't know she's gay until she's like, oh my God, my friend's all hot. Now I'm gay. This is how the story works. Well, it doesn't work anyway.
But now and
it's like all this weird infighting because she wants to be a pageant queen, but also want to be a bitch and sleep with people and be angry and angsty. I don't know how the series ends. I don't know. I didn't get really too far into it.
Yes, Christian.
But the cringiness I thought was funny up until I was like, I can't deal with no more cringe. So there's a caveat to this where I was like, nope, I'm done, and left it alone. Kristen watched the whole thing all So I don't lose in this argument. Kristen loses in this argument.
I don't see myself as losing either because I don't care that you guys don't like Twilight. Like, I don't care that you guys think it's horrible. That's the thing that you're missing here. Like, that's still my shit.
What you saying? You should be shamed. I didn't miss that you're not unabashed.
I'm not going to shame you privately.
I will.
I mean, you guys could like go and rent a billboard and put it up there. I don't
dare
care.
Me.
Like, but really that entire breakdown in this show, all that told me is that I could totally write a show for Netflix and they'll greenlight it. So thank you for that.
Right? Like Netflix shows seem to be Kristen, like the easiest thing. Although, like if you really pay attention, a lot of their stuff is like maybe 3 seasons long and that's it.
Perfect.
Yeah. You don't have to do much writing.
If you were to dare, I'd have to fight you.
Dare what?
Do write a thing to Netflix like, oh, that's a good idea. It's not a good idea. But that segues to what I was talking about earlier before I get cut off again real quick. So that nostalgia factor. Everything nostalgia-wise.
We're still talking about that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So everything is based upon that age group from between 1984 and 1994. Within that decade, whatever we were old enough to know, see, and experience is still being replicated. Not to mention, between 84 and 94 was a decade where we had a fashion style, yet we still mimic fashion styles before us. Still, It's like between 84 and 94, there was a fashion style of the baggy clothing and loose wear and very comfortable, relaxed kind of bohemian type style. Not bohemian as it does with the hipsters they do, but bohemian type style. Yet we still imitated those in the 70s, the 60s, and the 80s, as a matter of fact.
Well, that's regardless of what generation you're in.
Yeah, but it's like now all they do is imitate those styles. What is truly this generation's fashion style?
Are you talking about the iGen?
Right. Yeah, who are we talking about here?
Yeah, because honestly, the iGen doesn't seem to have like their own style because they're mimicking styles from like the 90s.
That's just my point. We're the end of that. We were the last stop for that because there is no more analog in anything. Everything is digital. Everything what they see, with the iGen, it's like everything they know is from interpretation. They just see what everyone else has done and then copy it. They're like computers. They don't know how to do it on their own. Hey, even the tight clothes and shit, that's 70s as hell.
Hey, you guys really want to feel old? So high schools now have a like how we used to have the senior week where we dress like in old vintage like clothes and stuff, and or tacky day and whatever. So their old school day is the 2000s.
Man, screw those kids.
Ooh, I still have a jacket from the 2000s.
I have a lot of clothes from the 2000s.
Yeah, damn. I have a jacket and I had like the iron-on patches and stuff on it. Man, good Lord.
Do y'all remember though when those Eminem NASCAR jackets were a thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I still have that. It's in my closet right now.
Really? Kristen,
yeah.
After this is over, take a picture in it because I don't believe it.
I promise I will. I'll send it. Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I had a lot of Ed Hardy clothes up until.
Oh my God.
Don't laugh at me.
Gross.
Don't laugh. Angsty teen. Okay.
It fit with what you were talking about being angsty. Why did you have Ed Hardy?
Because they had like a lot of skulls and like tigers and stuff on it, and I would wear
that was the
like
worst fucking brand ever.
Look, I'm not saying
absolutely
that.
Disgusting.
I'm not saying that what I did was right.
Shame.
That is on the level of Kristen watching Twilight.
No, how is this worse? Twilight. Okay.
I said on the level of. Worse is if you wore something like, what was that UFC shit used to wear back in the day? People would wear. Oh, I used to hate that nonsense. Yeah.
Oh, there was a brand called No Nonsense that I will also wear.
I don't know anything
because their pants, because I'm short, and their pants were the only, well, not the only pants, but like their pants would fit me.
The only pants? Like the only pants?
And Old Navy's pants would fit me. But y'all leave it. I don't care. You leave me alone. You're gross.
Oh, now that it's your turn for someone to pound like you.
The worst I ever owned out of clothes, to be honest with you. I remember I had a Fear Not shirt. It was like a no fear shirt, but for Christian kids.
Oh, everybody has one of those.
Fear Nots. Jesus Christ. I don't hear it. But no, the worst outfit I ever owned was actually a Sean John outfit. No lie. It was a Sean John velour tracksuit. And it fit weird. And it was like weird baggy in the bottom, so I couldn't even like sit right. It was strange as hell. That was the worst outfit I ever owned. But my major brands to go to back in the day were Drunken Monkey and Physical Science.
Oh, I love Physical Science.
Physical Science had really cool clothes to work out and move around in. And I was that kind of kid. So, I say kid.
I bet Kristen, I bet you had like FUBU, Baby Fat, and Tommy Hilfiger.
I had a lot of FUBU, by the way.
I didn't have FUBU really, but I did have Tommy Hilfiger and like.
Okay, first and foremost.
Wait, what else? Wait, what else did you have?
All of that stuff, Tommy, all of the Nike stuff, Jordans, and I was that kid. Like,
I can see.
But I also went to like City Trend a lot, so I had like Baby Fat. So
Go ahead,
Chris, I'm gonna defend you on that. Back in the day, especially, there was nothing wrong. If you were a Tommy Hilfiger chick, you were on the top line anyway. So there's nothing. I'm not going to even shame you on that.
I had Tommy Hilfiger.
Everybody black had some kind of Tommy in their closet.
Did you have like? Because I had one of those Nike velour tracksuits that was like bright.
You had a Nike one?
Yeah, I had a Nike.
That was annoying.
I had a Nike one, and I had a Baby Fat one, and they were like, and me and my sister were matching. So she had like the bright pink, and I had this bright baby blue.
I think I had a baby blue, Baby Fat velour tracksuit. Like those freaking get it out of here. Why did we put that on? And don't wear that shit in the rain because why was baby blue like the color back then?
No,
it was the color, that or pink.
Here's a better question: why was everybody wearing those damn bowling shorts with Japanese cartoons on them and fake Japanese kanji all over it?
I remember those. I remember the guys in my school wearing those. Some of the guys, anyway. Yeah, I didn't wear that.
Yeah,
no, that was the boys wore. Men I say boys. Stop that. Young men, teenagers. I'm gonna stop. People gotta stop considering teenagers boys. They're not the same thing. But young men wore those all the damn time, and I was part of that crowd.
Those and the you guys remember the shirts that you not shut up, no, not Axe.
You said spray.
Yeah, but you would get your shirt spray painted.
I had Walmart.
You wear one or two of mine. The one with the onyx on them?
Oh, yeah.
It's a spray painted, wife beater. Or actually more like a muscle shirt.
Like in Memphis, there was this, if you went to like the Southland Mall, there was a store.
That's where I got it spray painted.
There was a store specifically where you could get your shit spray painted.
You could get it done in Walmart too.
Yeah, Walmart's do that. I remember that.
Walmart.
I think I got a lot of my spray painting shirts from when all of the high schools went to Liberty Land. Y'all remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
what are you talking about?
See, man, we live for that.
And if your parents worked at FedEx, that was the best because my mom worked at FedEx. So we would have like Liberty Land Day for all the like FedEx people. Oh, what happened? That shit was fun.
Like I would get a completely brand new outfit just to go to Liberty Land. So I need those new Air Force Ones, please. Thank you.
Because I'm going to Liberty Land. This is a big deal.
My biggest trip in high school was when I was at a history in our sales class. We literally went through like Alabama, Mississippi, and all that stuff to go through what the Freedom Marchers went through. That was my biggest high school trip.
See, this speaks to a thing that, I don't know, we're going to be adult next week because I want to talk about the disparities between our schools and our upbringing and our education because y'all had colored computers and shit and went on actual trips. And the highlight of my high school was going to Liberty Land.
First of all, the Facing History trip was for the Facing History Ourselves program. And I think only 3 of us from our school, me and 2 other women I'm not going to name, actually went on that trip. So and they sprinkle some from other schools. I still have some photos from them.
And my biggest high school trip was when I went to San Antonio, Texas. No, wait, that was middle school. So we had a huge middle school trip. We went to San Antonio, Texas. Never mind. But that was so it's not a big deal because it was in the heart of Whitehaven, and it was like that Haven View middle school, which like now is like super bad. And I think it was bad then, but that was like my middle school. Yeah. That was my middle school trip was San Antonio. As a matter of fact, I don't remember what I did for my high school trip. I think we had like a picnic.
The fact that you even had a high school. Oh, we're getting into some deep shit next week because I have a bone to pick with the Shelby County school system.
Well, it was Memphis City School.
Memphis City School back then. You're right. Yeah, I have a bone to pick with them because I'm still pissed that my freshman year of college, my math class, the shit that were teaching us then, those kids were like, oh, we learned this in the 7th grade. And I'm like, bitch, they taught this to us in the 12th grade. What are you talking about? We're getting into some deep disparities in poorly laid out educational system next week, goddammit, and I mean it.
I can't even.
I love her passion
because it's true, though.
It is true. Okay, so so we were talking about like nostalgia and music in here. So next week we'll talk about, and guys, hey, we've already got a plan for next week because usually we don't come up with the shit until the day of, until the day of.
Because I showed up. You're welcome.
Yeah, actually, that's a big part of it. But but next week we'll talk about nostalgia and TV. As well as like the core education system here and public school education system. So yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
Right. But yeah, just to summarize real quick. Those who were born between the years 84 and 94, I am hashtagging the nostalgia generation. We literally consume our lives of nostalgia. It gives us a really messed up form of existential dread that is beyond ridiculous because we remember a time where things move slow, but we lived through a time where things had to go quickly. So we're confused and lost as hell. So much so that it has a lot of us acting like basically children. We complain about the wrong things. We got into the cancel culture that wasn't even a part of us. That was the next generation. So we're feeding off the younger ones that came after us that are complaining about nonsense. And I'm going to say this, it is nonsense. They complain about nonsense they have no control over and that they have no context for, trying to ruin careers and stuff people said 10 years ago at a time where our generation especially would have said the exact same nonsense. Do you want to get fired over something you said back in like 2003? That's ridiculous. It was a different time, living in a different time. Yeah. And as we know from an analog perspective, that people do change over time. Mm-hmm. The Generation Z doesn't understand that. They really don't understand for real that people do grow up.
That's true. Now is forever for them.
Exactly, because everything is internet. So when you say something 30 years ago, that's relevant now.
I hope I didn't say anything 30 years ago. I was a baby.
But no, I'm saying like
Brene said, what Quarter Life Jam said, goo goo gaga, I feel attacked.
Well, I think what helps me with that generation a little bit is that their brains aren't even completely covered up yet. So like they don't even...
Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they're the same. There's no difference.
Yeah, parts of their brains are still exposed, guys. They don't even, so it...
That's true. And look what time they're growing up in. I would be kind of screwed too. But like, I think there's a reason why, like and I think I talked to you, Groove, about this before. There's a reason why we're kind of like sad and like angry and, whatever. We have kind of a whole bunch of different emotions. It's just like things were like everything has been shifted, but nothing has really changed. Yep. Like if you really think about, what's going on, how we are treated like kids, because now, if you look at when Pete Buttigieg was running for the president, what did people say? Oh, he's just a baby. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. And blah, blah, blah. Like they didn't take him seriously because he's younger. They don't take us seriously. And when we try to make change or implement change or when we try to take what essentially is ours, it's a time where we should be flourishing and making laws and changes and bettering shit for the future. We're pushed to the side. Hell, when we entered into the workforce, there were a lot of people who didn't want to relinquish control. Yeah,
that's true.
And we still...
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. It's still now.
Yeah, it's still... Yeah. We're still dealing with it. We're never taken seriously. So, of course, if you're going to continue to put like responsibility on us and baby us at the same time, then of course we're going to be fucking angry and pissed off and act like children.
And that sort of like, that really does piss me off. I mean, because what is the oldest millennial, like 40? And is that the range?
I think the oldest millennial is like 38,
like almost 40,
almost 40.
Yeah, somewhere like that. So, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's like, and sometimes I feel like, is this like ageism on my part? Cause I'm like, okay, old people, just move to the side. Like, let us, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's our turn to, like you said, start making these laws, start running things. But then on the flip side of that, it's like they're in our faces. You're just kids. Bitch, I'm 30 and damn near with the mortgage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you're absolutely right. It's like they won't relinquish what they screwed up. It's like you had your turn. And either you did things with it or you didn't. So let someone else. I mean, and the same thing is going to happen to us. When we get to that age, these kids behind us it's going to be their turn to like try to enact some type of change, make some changes with things like that or whatever. It'll be their turn to be in charge of stuff. And you have to have that mindset that, okay, I've done what I can. Let me step aside. And they won't step aside. It's like, damn, do I need to push you over? Like, move.
Like, let me break your hip. Because the world is no longer for them anymore. Like,
and it's sad. It's sad.
You guys are going to be gone and dead and in the dirt. And
holy shit. Like, it's really mean, but it's true.
But it's true. I'm sorry. I love like my grandma and shit. But at the same time, you guys,
your ideas don't work.
Yeah. You're not leaving the world for us. You're leaving the world for yourself. And once you're gone, then we have to suffer with all the crap that you like made. What are you going to say, Groove?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. I was waiting. No, I was going to say I mean, you guys touched on it, but, still, our generation, the Star Generation, the reason we act so childish is because we don't have a place to sit. We live in our childhoods. And by the time Gen Z has the chance to take over, which we're going to let them do willingly because we don't want it for the most part, which is really kind of sad in a weird way, we're going to be a forgotten generation. We're going to be a generation of time where like something happened there, but it wasn't a big deal. It was just a transitional period. 84, 94 is a transitional decade where things just started turning and it got faster while still moving slowly. And that's the biggest part of the problem. We allow Jones generation and boomers to treat us like infants. And at the same time, let Gen Zers look at us like we're just old and well past our prime. And we are neither of those things. We're not too old. We're actually at the prime part of our life, actually. We're not even middle-aged. We're going to live well past. The boomers are living to, in essence, their 60s or 70s. We got a good lead up on them on how we should live our lives in the first place. We're going to outlive them, even with bad lifestyles for the most part, unless we do something stupid. But still, get the idea.
Every millennial, let's go. What was it? Storm Area 51.
That was dumb.
Like, what the?
Gen Z.
What was that even about? Like, get this shit out of here.
Gen Z is like to spread dumb memes, and then they were like, "Oh, let's go do something stupid." And everybody knew what was going on. They knew they were going to come there and be in front of the fence.
Yeah, you guys did not have any kind of element of surprise.
None.
No, because they told everything they were going to do online.
Here's the crazy part about the Gen Y, millennial, the nostalgia area timeline. When Gen Zers say, or iGen say stupid, weird, new shit, boomers ask us, what does that mean? When the things they don't understand, the iGen ask us, what are they talking about? And it's up to us to decipher it. We're literally a translation code. We're a translation code from when stuff was moving slow to when things are moving fast. What I'm saying is we don't have to accept that as a placeholder. We really don't. And we're not taking charge of, this is ours, get over it. Boomers are extremely spoiled, extremely coddled to this day, and very, very ignorant to the future. They don't understand that the tree you plant today, you will not see in your lifetime to full fruition. The tree that we're supposed to have and take fruits off of, they don't want us to have it. That's how selfish they are. And we're not putting them in their place of, go lay down. Go rest. Like, seriously, rest your damn nerves. This is not for you. This is not where you need to be. This is my
such a black person. Go rest your nerves, please.
Go take a nap.
No, but you're absolutely right. It's like, please, just go relax. It's okay.
Like, chill out.
And if you're worried about, retirement, just think about this. As millennials, we won't have retirement, when we hit the age. You know why? Because of you. So you're okay. You will be fine. Just sit down and take your retirement.
They have like a death grip on things. Like, let it go. It's so frustrating. It is so incredibly frustrating because it's like, we're trying to do shit here and you won't go take a nap.
And it's easy to call this Quarter Life Podcast because the Quarter Life group are within that 84 to 94 age range. You're talking to this target audience. I'm not saying go out to these workplaces and beat up old people. And I'm not saying go out there and destroy buildings and topple cars and then pee on sidewalks. What I am saying though, is that there's a point where we have to say no. We are the translation code between both generations. Actually, all three of them. We are the ones giving birth to the next gen. The generation Alpha is mostly us giving birth to those children. We are the ones that experienced a life that was analog, but learned through one that was digital. We are a very rare aspect of time. We really are. And because we feel we have no place, that's why we live in all these dreams of yesterday, because we don't know where to go. We don't know where we belong anymore. Yeah. We are truly lost.
But but a lot of millennials are making their own way. So shout out to you guys. The millennial now, we actually do work harder. We're less likely to take vacations and we're more likely to have 2 or 3 jobs or work a side hustle.
True story.
Shout out to the millennial generation. And like Groove has said on this podcast, you heard it here first, go and push old people out of their positions.
Yeah, because that's what I got from that.
Yeah, that's what I got from there. And the iGen generation, just go and lock them up in the closet, put a little basket over.
Yeah, until their brains are covered.
Yeah, until their brains are covered.
What I meant was is that since we grew up in a time where technology was moving, where we know an analog style, keep the analog mindset. Do not forget what it meant to take your time, be patient, move at a not just your own pace, but a decent pace. But utilize the new technology in front of you. We know how to use all this nonsense. The Gen Zers, the iGen, try to act like we don't know how to use Snapchat. We know what the hell that is. We just don't care.
Yeah, I know how to use Snapchat. I just don't know how to use a TikTok. What is
I don't understand TikTok. They can keep
that. TikTok is just Vine. It's just Vine and longer videos.
TikTok is purely an iGen thing. So guys,
it is, and it's kind of lame. But a lot of our generation are using it though.
But you know what?
That's the messed up thing.
But you know what? I'm glad that is being taken over by the government because of the Chinese. You guys, up until you guys have done too much with it, and I'm sick of it. And it's time to move on.
Those kids have become millionaires off of that shit. Can y'all, like, all the shit that we did on MySpace and none of us are millionaires? I don't understand.
We learned coding. We learned a skill.
I didn't learn how to goddamn it code. I see a lot of you guys, y'all learned how to code. Man, I had that shit pre-ready and let me put it in here, like paste it.
No, that is very true.
You guys are lip syncing on camera. Get out of here.
I will say this. You get mad at for making money off of TikTok, but folks with a booty hole on OnlyFans and make $30,000 a month.
That's because the porn industry.
I respect the shit out of that. I don't care how anyone feels about OnlyFans. I respect the shit out of that. Like,
I'm not mad at it. I mean,
sex will always sell. So.
Yes, it will. I appreciate a hoe, but at the same time, it is what it is. Like, if you're gonna hoe for money, go ahead. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying I wouldn't. What I am saying to you is do your thing, but recognize that what you're doing is hoe shit. And if you're going to be a hoe, display, I'm a hoe, and then wear that badge. I don't know. Millennials have a hard time accepting who they are, for real. Like, y'all, I know y'all want to be everybody from Heavyweights to Rugrats, but we can't do that. We can't be everyone. We can't be every character. I'm sorry. If you are what you are, that's it. That's one thing our generation before us was able to do. If you a hustler, you a hustler. If you're a hoe, you a hoe. You're a baller, you're a baller. You're a fighter, you're a fighter.
I thought you was going to say if you're a shot caller.
Oh, yeah. If you a shot caller, you a shot caller.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, it really was.
That's my bad. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't get that opportunity back. But, like, that is a big part of our generation. We don't claim what we are directly because we're so busy trying to catch up with Gen Z, which is ridiculous and retarded, honestly. And I'm going to say that. You can say that's non-PC, and I don't care. We got to get over that nonsense, too, in a lot of ways. But own what you are. If what you are is that title, then you are that title. Some titles are just made up for us from a long time, don't get me wrong. But if, for example, OnlyFans, if you a hoe, you a hoe. You use sex to get paid. Just own it. But stop getting mad at people for calling you that or recognize you for what you actually are. Don't listen. Gen Z, they're babies. They literally are babies. They are still getting through what not only
they're
who they
still
are,
suckling at their mama's teeth.
Seriously, they don't know what their place is in the world. Yeah. So everything that sounds like a label to them pisses them off. But they grew up in a world where all information is fed to them directly. Every label they saw at all times. They don't know what they're supposed to be. For them, they're every label. We're Gen Y. We don't need the label nonsense. We're the nostalgia gen. Why the hell do we need a label for anything?
People are just people.
We know what a label is. Just know what your label is. Just go with your prescribed notion. If you don't want it, change it. Understand you do have a place. We know that because the analog way we were raised taught us that. Like, that's a big part of it.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, what? I know we said we were going to be light on this podcast, but we are currently running heavy. But yeah, so I hope you guys learned something. Kristen, did you learn something?
I learned some things. Sure.
That's good. That's good. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel like I want to go out and make a change, but first I want to eat. So yeah, all right. I'm hungry.
Well, cool. We ate before the podcast, so
you're smart.
Yeah. I made that a priority. Not that you don't come first, but me comes first and you come third. So I heart you, friend. Don't ever feel like I don't. I do. But guys, what do you think about the quote unquote nostalgia gen that we have, or I guess in this case, Jett Groove has coined? How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's an accurate representation of the kind of weird in between moment of the Gen X and the Millennials and the iGen? Let us know in the comments below. If you are stirred up, also let us know in the comments below. And if you're an iGen,
they're not listening to this. I feel like I'd say this every other podcast. Like they could care less about a podcast.
Yeah, they don't care. They're on their TikToks, which is currently getting shut down by China. And guys, just so you, not China, the government, just so you know, they are using your information and your likeness.
iGen doesn't care unless you're dancing and lip syncing.
That's true.
It's such a fake generation, I swear to God, man.
So
they really are, though. It sounds hateful, but it's true. They just
you guys are the fake generation. We are as real as we can get, obviously, because of this podcast. But that's going to have to do it for us today. Thank you, Jett Groove, for being a guest on our podcast. Please follow him on his channel by the same name, Jett Groove. Kristen, what?
I'll say this as a slight plug-in. Not to mention, I do have books to sell.
That's
not
right.
on this topic, but I do have 2 books, as a matter of fact, that should be available by Tuesday in digital and paperback form. One is a prose called Traveler's Tale, Reflections, Mirage. Another one is a poetry collection called Yesterday's the Day That Doesn't End on Tomorrow. So they should both be available by digital and paperback form in your Amazon KD or your Amazon, book space. So give those a look at. $6 for the digital, $12 for the paperback print. So it's good and affordable. And
I will link those. I will link those books in the comments below. If you're listening to us on Spotify, very slowly. What were the name of those books again?
Sorry, the first one is Traveler's Tale, Reflections, Mirage. That's a prose. No prose. It's basically poetry and narrative. And the second one is Yesterday is the Day That Doesn't End on Tomorrow, and that's a poetry collection, so to speak.
All right, guys, check out some of his stuff. It's really good. I've read the first one. I have not read the second one, but check it out. Link is below. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you, Kristen, always for, joining me in this nonsense.
Absolutely. And I love nonsense.
I know you do. And next week, we've already got a topic of subject. So
if I can remember, because I still didn't buy my Prevagen, so
my God. You're old. You got to buy a Prevagen.
Old but you're young.
At some point, someone that works for Prevagen is going to be like, oh my God, let me just mail this girl some.
Prevagen, please, if you could.
Sponsor us, because I need it.
Our first sponsor is going to be something to help memory loss. All right.
Remember how she feels during the day, so help her out.
That's true. All right, guys.
I'm sorry, Kristen. I hurt you.
You guys are the worst.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having me on. Take care.